Right, is this Palm Beach Club? Yes. Right, so this is the club that a personal trainer was telling me about. And I think it was called something else. Right, there you go. Right, so I'm just walking back. So I'm going to take my time, I think, and walk very slowly. Just to not necessarily unwind as such, but I've said many times that I like to walk around in the dark. There's something very, I won't say spiritual, but it's just nice. I mean, there are loads of people out and about, but I will get to a stretch where there won't be anybody. So I'm just walking past where all the clubs are at the minute. And once I get out of here, I will have some peace to take back. In fact, sometimes when I want to get good energy, I will go for a walk. Like, I would liken it to going shopping. So I go outside, walk, and come back and bring back some good energy with me. Right, so I gotta tell you, I had a good time. I didn't get there until just before 11, but he played some music that I hadn't heard from the longest time. And I'm talking about proper music going back to the late 70s. So I more than had my quota of dancing. Right, so I said in the previous video that we're in November and I've got December, 2 months to complete my 1 year of getting back in shape. So, of course, you know how it is. It's a bit like doing a race, running a marathon, actually forget the marathon, like 5,000, 10,000 meter race. You don't go flat out at the beginning. You save some for the sprint finish. So we're in November and December, so you could say these 2 months are my sprint finish. So whatever opportunities I get, I'll make the most of them just so I can. I mean, there have been weeks and months that I wasn't able to apply myself as I would have liked to, because obviously I've got responsibilities with my sister and work and various other things. So wasn't able to go flat out. But life is for living, and so whatever time I get to do whatever I can by way of not necessarily enjoyment, because for me enjoyment must have a purpose. I don't just set out to enjoy myself for the sake of enjoyment, and I talk about this in the book. There must be a purpose to the enjoyment. So I went out tonight and I went dancing for the sake of exercise. Dancing used to feature heavily, going back from the, I would say, late 70s, right until music got crap, which was about the early to mid 90s. Hold on, this sounds quite good over here. Let me go and see what that is. They won't let me in because this place, you have to be escorted in. So what I could do if I want to go in, I could pretend that I'm with somebody and they'll let me in. But I won't do that. I just want to hear what the music is. Music sounds interesting. It's not my kind of place. Music is interesting, but it's not the kind of place where I would really want to go and hang out. Anyways, as I was saying, music would feature very heavily, and that was mainly what I did for fitness. not deliberately. It was just, if you like, a byproduct. I've always enjoyed music. I like, as somebody who believes in God, I'm not supposed to like music. I'm only supposed to like gospel and praise and, those types of music. And to be honest, I can't stand them. When I say I can't stand them, it's not so much that I have a dislike. It's just, it doesn't sit well with my spirit. It doesn't do anything for me, let's say. And the idea that just because the music is performed by people who are believers, churchgoers or religious people or whatever, it doesn't mean that it's good. I like tunes that have a good beat, good melody, and it helps if the lyrics are good also, right? So, but like I said, music is something that will always be a part of me, irrespective of what the people say. So anyway, yes, I've had some good exercise, and now walking back. So by the time I get back, I would have, got it out of my system and be ready to go to sleep immediately.
Very good. By yourself.
So
By yourself.
it is what it is. But I mean, there's a lot of things I could say, but now is not the appropriate time to say them. Sometimes I like to, like on Facebook, I will write a post, but it's just a marker for something that I'll come back to at a future date. And sort of like now with videos and things, they are there for the record. But there are things that I could say pertaining to music and just, enjoyment. But it's not appropriate at this particular time. So, but when the time does come, I've got a photographic memory, a total recall rather. So I will remember what I said, and I will resurrect things at the appropriate time. But if I seem to ramble, it's because I'm trying to sort of filter out the things that I don't really want to say at this time, and to try and say the things that I perhaps do want to say. So I'm gonna go with the thing about, as you can see, here I am again walking by myself, and not necessarily to say that this is a trait, but from my early 20s or late teens, I've been doing my own thing. So instead of waiting for other people to, if I want to go out. What are they playing over there? Sounds good. But no, Elizabeth, go home. Right, so instead of waiting around or trying to find other people to go out with me, I trained myself to be able to go out by myself. So for me tonight, it didn't matter whether or not there were other people on the dance floor. I went, providing the music was of any use, I went with the intention of dancing, not to socialize with people. I mean, that sounds bad if I say it like that, but I did meet some very nice people there, and we did spend time dancing on the dance floor. but it wasn't about that. I had my focus. I've got 2 months to get in shape. I mean, I'm not going to get into peak shape by December, but I mean, it'll do. Good evening, gentlemen.
You're too young to be on the road tonight.
I
You should
am.
go home tonight.
I am.
You're young tonight. Go home tonight.
Yeah, anyways, you just can't get the men nowadays. I'll come back to that in a second, actually. Yeah, so the whole point is you could live your life in such a way where you need someone to hold your hand wherever you go. But I learned at a very young age that in order for me to do the things that I enjoy doing, it would be best to develop the qualities that are necessary to be able to do them alone if necessary. And that's what I do. If I feel like going out, I just go out by myself. I had a bloody good time, I got to tell you. The music was really good. I mean, I got there at a certain time, as I said, but the music was excellent. And I got my quota of dancing. So now I'm walking again for exercise. So if you like, I'm front loading. So just in case I don't go out tomorrow, or you know, there might come sometime later on in the week where it's raining or something and I don't get a chance to go for a walk. I'm putting in the mileage now. You know, whatever. Anyways, yes, hi. Right, so, let me see. I'm walking past people, so I have to kind of make out like I'm not actually talking. So here we are. In a second, and I'm going to come to that stretch where there's nobody. Good evening, gentlemen. All right, here we are. Now, this is the last venue. So now I can talk. Yes, so, right, I'm the kind of person, I've said before, I like to wear pretty dresses and 6-inch heels wherever possible. But on a night like tonight, I'm wearing my trainers. When I'm going out by myself, I don't tend to wear heels or anything like that, because that's when you draw attention to yourself. And believe me, I don't go out looking for attention, I go out to dance. But it would be nice, you know, to be escorted. But that's not going to happen, because I can't, we're having this conversation just very recently, and it's like, you know, there are some people who would try to take a man and make him into, women, try and make the man into what they want him to become. I believe in free agency, and it's one of those things. I will improvise. So I might wear the dress, but I'm going to wear my trainers with it. But if I'm going out in a group or something, not that that's going to be likely to happen any time soon, because these days I don't mix with anybody. And again, that sounds terrible, but it's just one of those things. If you grow away from people, or people grow away from you, you don't have things in common. Especially since coronavirus and lockdown, I've completely lost contact with I'd say 99% of the people that I had contact with prior to coronavirus. I've lost contact with them, and you know, it's something to do with the fact that they've lost their minds. Some of them are still living in fear of what the virus can do. I never was, and so, you know, I don't have time to be playing any kind of, not necessarily playing games, but to be, treading around people. Like when I was going to the gym and people there, you're there, you're friendly, whatever. And there would be people who presume they're talking to you and they presume that you share the same attitude as them towards wearing a mask, taking the vaccine, and washing your hands, social distancing and all this thing. I never did any of that. And really, I don't want to expend energy on people that I have nothing in common with. And again, it sounds terrible, but if I've, I was going to say designed myself. If I've developed myself in such a way that I can function without people, why do I need to compromise? I don't. I absolutely do not need to compromise in any way, shape, or form. I think we've gone past a thing now where people would say, oh, but you're old, you shouldn't be going clubbing. Nobody's talking to me about anything like that anymore. Right? I'm not quite sure what happened, but nowadays nobody sort of goes down that road with me. But this is something I said I would always be doing. So long as I'm able to do it, I would always be going out and enjoying myself. As long as I have the strength and the physicality to do it. Right? So it is just the simple matter of living my life. And when I say living my life, I can only speak for myself. Whatever others choose to do, that's entirely up to them. But damned if I'm going to let anybody drag me in whatever direction they're choosing not to go in. Some people just want to stand still. I'm not that kind of person. I'm big on growth, spiritually, mentally, physically. This is why I have a personal trainer, because I don't have the time. I mean, the personal trainer is a new addition, but I've always, for as long as I can remember from as a teenager, been into sports and fitness. And I was able to do all of that myself because I didn't have any responsibilities. But now, not just that I've got responsibility of my sister, there is no space in the flat to do the type of exercise that I would need to do to get in the shape that I'm accustomed to. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm stronger now than I've ever been since I've acquired the personal trainer. And he kicks my ass every session. It's like he's a sadist. But I mean, it's all good. It's all good because I'm up for it. But he doesn't go easy on me. That's what I pay him for. I don't want somebody to be telling me, oh, you're doing great. Just telling me what they think I want to hear. I want to be pushed. I'll tell you a little funny story. This Thursday gone, it was lower body exercise. And I was doing this one exercise. It's a bit like a hip thrust thing. So I'm wedged my shoulders against the box and my feet are on the ground. And for resistance, he added a medicine ball on my lap, if you can imagine. So I asked him to bring me a heavier one. Because, I don't, if it's easy, I don't accept the easiness. I will ask for heavier weights. And also he will ask me how are the weights. And if I can do more, I'll say, give me more. But if I can't, then I will say, no, this is fine, I can't do any more than this. So anyway, I asked him to increase the weight of the medicine ball. And he came waddling over with this big thing in his arms. And I said, how much does that weigh? And he said, don't worry about that. And he plunked it on top of my lap. So, I mean, it was heavy. And when I'd finished doing those sets of exercises, I looked at it, 25 kilograms, so like half my body weight. And, you know, we have banter. I like that. And you see, one of the reasons I can't get along with people is because, generally speaking, people want to tell you what they think you want to hear. And I'm not that type of person. I don't want anybody to tell me what they think I want to hear. For example, I'm not politically correct. Just speak what's on your mind. You don't have to sort of be trying to dress things up nicely. You know, I'm not into any of that nonsense, the be kind, be nice, be tolerant, be this. Just be your bloody self. Right, so this is why I'm out here on the road by myself. Because I'm not saying there's nobody that I can go with or whatever. But when I go by myself, I'm going to have the enjoyment that I'm capable of having. I'm not going to have anybody, oh gosh, sorry. I'm not going to have anybody pulling me this way or that way. And then when I'm ready, I can leave. I'm not going to have anybody saying, I'm bored. Can we go now? Right? So I arrive when I choose to arrive, and I leave when I choose to leave. I mean, I left later than I might have because I needed to dry my hair. But I got my quota of dancing. He played the music that was right up my street. It's all good. So now I'm maybe 5 minutes away from the flat. Maybe less than 5 minutes, in fact. I will go sit on the radiator, get warm, get myself organized, and go and get a good night's sleep. And then see what tomorrow morning holds. I may go to the market because I need to get something for my sister, or I may not. I'll just see how I wake up, how I feel. But the bottom line is, you have one life. And as for me, I mean, I'm not in a situation where I can live my life to the fullest. But whatever moments I can grab, I will grab them with both hands. Because when life is over, it's over. I've left my sister in bed, and she cannot get out of the bed without my assistance. Prior to the lockdown, March, beginning of April 2020, you see how I'm walking now? She was a bit of a walker. She would walk everywhere. She was very independent, and all of a sudden it got taken away from her. It's not to say that I worry that anything like that's going to happen to me, because I have a very different relationship with God. Right? I do what I need to do. And then I hold him accountable. If I don't do what I'm supposed to do, then I cannot go to him and pitch my argument. Right? So that's how I live. You see, I'm walking. I'm not at all nervous or afraid. Right? It's I think probably 1 o'clock, coming up to 1 o'clock after, I don't know. But the point is, I don't live in fear. If I was to contact any number of people, they say, oh my gosh, you're out on the road by yourself, it's not safe. I don't live like that, right? I do what I need to do, when I need to do it. And if, gosh, I lost my train of thought. I'm not saying that I expect God to protect me. But at the end of the day, if I'm gonna get into a situation that's not safe, I expect him to warn me. Because I don't purposely take chances with my health, with my life, with anything. If it be the case that something should happen, it would be because of my ignorance as opposed to my willfulness. Anyway, I'm back, and I hope there's something in there that you might find useful. Look after yourselves. Have a good night. Bye-bye.